Steven Tyler's romantic life reads like a rock and roll saga, from whirlwind flings in his early years to long, serious marriages and a recently steady relationship. His love life timeline touches young loves, rumored affairs, and life-changing partnerships that shaped both his art and his family. In this video, we'll walk through all the known named girlfriends, flings, and serious relationships, in order, exactly when they happened, without legend becoming fact. Some stories are messy, some are tender. In the late 1970s, Steven Tyler's personal life collided with the glitter and chaos of New York's rock scene. At the center of it was Serinda Fox, a former Warhol actress, model, and music publicist. Their paths crossed in the mid-70s when Aerosmith was climbing, and Fox was already a familiar face around David Bowie and the Dolls. By 1977, the two were in a full relationship, and in 1978, they married. That same year, their daughter Mia Tyler was born, a future actress and model in her own right. From the outside, it looked like a classic rock star love story: fame, family, and a touch of rebellion. But behind the scenes, the marriage was turbulent. The couple struggled with substance use, clashing personalities, and the unforgiving glare of public life. After nearly a decade together, the marriage ended in divorce in 1987. Fox later published a memoir detailing their volatile years, painting both passion and pain. When Serinda passed away in 2002, Tyler attended her funeral, a gesture that closed a chapter, but never erased it. After his stormy marriage to Serinda Fox ended, Steven Tyler's life took a quieter turn when he met Teresa Barrick, a fashion designer. The two married in 1988, marking the start of what would become his longest marriage. For nearly 2 decades, Teresa was by his side, not in the spotlight, but as a steady presence behind the scenes. Our union brought 2 children, Chelsea Anna Tyler, born in 1989, and Taj Monroe Tallarico, born in 1991. Both would grow up away from the public chaos that had defined Tyler's earlier years. Friends often described Teresa as grounded and calm, a balancing force to Steven's restless energy. Yet the stability was not permanent. Over time, reports of strains in the marriage surfaced: conflicting lifestyles, long stretches apart, and Tyler's own struggles with addiction. In 2006, the couple divorced, ending an 18-year relationship that had seen Aerosmith's rise to renewed fame, Tyler's stints in rehab, and the band's ongoing tours. For Steven, Teresa represented endurance, a long chapter of family life that stood in contrast to the brief flings and fleeting romances of his past. By 2006, Steven Tyler was emerging from a long marriage and stepping into a new stage of life. That's when he began dating Erin Brady, an accountant who worked with Aerosmith's management team. Unlike his previous partners, Brady wasn't part of the rock and roll scene. She came from outside the whirlwind, and perhaps that was part of the attraction. For several years, the couple appeared inseparable, often attending award shows, premieres, and public events together. In December 2011, Tyler proposed, presenting Erin with an engagement ring that made headlines. At first, it looked like Steven had found stability again, someone he could truly settle down with. But the fairy tale didn't last. By January 2013, the engagement was officially called off. Rumors swirled about disagreements, family tensions, and the sheer difficulty of sharing a life with a global rock icon. Tyler himself admitted the breakup was painful. For nearly 7 years, Erin Brady had been a central figure in his personal story. Their split left questions in the air, but also cleared the path toward the next chapter in his love life. After decades of turbulence, Steven Tyler's most recent relationship has surprised many with its steadiness. Amy Preston, born in 1987 in Denver, first entered his life as a personal assistant in 2012. By 2014, whispers of something more began, and in 2016 they went public. stepping onto the red carpet together at Elton John's AIDS Foundation Oscars viewing party. The pairing raised eyebrows, not only because Amy was nearly 4 decades younger, but because she had once worked for him. Critics labeled it unconventional, while others saw it as simply human. A man and woman finding connection in a world that rarely offers privacy. Over time, their bond has grown more visible. They appear together at concerts, charity galas, and especially with Tyler's foundation, Janie's Fund, where Amy plays an active role. Those who know them describe the relationship as supportive, even grounding, giving Tyler a calmer center than in years past. For a singer whose life has been marked by chaos, heartbreak, and recovery, Amy Preston seems to represent something different: continuity. Whether or not marriage is in their future, she stands beside him, the current chapter of his rock and roll love story. In the mid-1970s, Steven Tyler entered a controversial relationship with Julia Holcomb, then just 16. With her parents' consent, he even gained legal guardianship so she could live with him. Their relationship lasted several years, marked by heavy drug use and turbulence. By 1977, it ended. Holcomb later spoke openly about the affair, framing it as a painful, complicated chapter in both of their lives. In 1976, Steven Tyler had a brief but life-changing romance with Bebe Buell, a model and singer known in New York's music circles. Their relationship was short, but it resulted in the birth of Liv Tyler in 1977, though Steven did not know he was her father until years later. For all its brevity, this fling carried a legacy larger than either expected. In 1977, Steven Tyler briefly dated Valerie Kendall, a model who later became linked to Motley Crue's Vince Neil. Their time together lasted only months, from January to October. It was more of a passing romance than a lasting bond, and little is publicly documented. Still, it reflected Tyler's pattern of quick, high-profile flings during Aerosmith's wildest years. Before Aerosmith reached its peak, Steven Tyler was in a steady relationship with Carol Miller, a respected New York radio DJ. From 1971 to 1974, the two shared a quieter, more grounded connection compared to the chaos that would follow in his life. Their relationship eventually faded, but Miller remained a familiar name in broadcasting, while Tyler's fame was only just beginning to rise. In the late 1960s, just before Aerosmith broke out, Steven Tyler dated Lynn Collins. Their relationship stretched for about 2 years, from 1969 to 1971, during his early climb in the Boston rock scene. Not much detail is publicly recorded, but Collins is remembered as one of his first steady girlfriends before fame began to reshape his personal life forever. Before the spotlight, Steven Tyler was just another young musician finding his way. Around 1968, he dated Michele Overman, one of his earliest known girlfriends. Their relationship lasted about a year, simple and mostly private, with little public record beyond timelines. It marked the beginning of Tyler's long history of romances before Aerosmith's fame reshaped everything. In 2013, Steven Tyler was briefly linked to actress Levin Rambin, best known for roles in Grey's Anatomy and The Hunger Games. Reports suggested a short-lived fling, but nothing substantial was confirmed. The rumor surfaced during the period after Tyler's breakup with Aaron Brady, adding curiosity to his love life timeline. Though the relationship remains speculative at best, throughout the early 2000s, Steven Tyler was linked to a few brief encounters. In 2002, reports tied him to model Justina Crossland. A few years later, in 2005, he was spotted with Russian model Olga Gomanova, and also rumored to have shared time with singer Carly Simon. None developed into serious relationships, but they reflected Tyler's ongoing presence in celebrity gossip columns of the era. From early girlfriends in the late 1960s to the enduring partnership he shares today, Steven Tyler's love life has traced a long and uneven arc. Some relationships were brief sparks, remembered only in rumors or passing mentions. Others lasted years, bringing children, marriages, and deep entanglements of family. At times, his romances mirrored the chaos of rock and roll itself, fast, volatile, and always under the public eye. At other times, they reflected quiet endurance, the search for balance amid the noise. As of now, Amy Preston stands beside him, representing a new chapter still being written. But in the shadows of the past, the names and stories of those who came before remain part of his legend, fragments of a life lived loudly and never simply